Another night of racing here in the Giggity Racing League. Guys, we have a special event tonight. We have Custom Cup. We're going Talladega, then we're going to Iowa. Alex Ned in the booth tonight. Buddy Mike on his way. We got Boomhauer. We have a long list of drivers. A couple captain's picks to be in there tonight to get a couple extra cars. Noco leading the way. Kate Teddy at the bottom. Mills and Kate Taddy are on the bump to get bubble to get bumped tonight, guys. Alex, welcome to the booth, man. I know this has been a long time coming, and a lot of people wanted to hear this.
Yeah, I'm very excited to be here. Unfortunately, it seems like my voice is not. So we'll be seeing how much I can exactly call the race for you guys here tonight. But I'm excited, as you mentioned there, we have Talladega Super Speedway racing right before we go to the interesting track of Iowa, which is interesting, the fact that the Cup Series actually does not visit that track on the Cup Series.
Exactly, and I'm glad you brought that up. We've all raced on Cups. Being on a custom car will make it a little bit easier. High horsepower going into Iowa. You got to be able to run. There's a couple different lines there, but you have to back the corners up a little bit more than you would in a Cup or Xfinity car. But guys, we're going Talladega racing, custom style. Talked to Noco earlier. He said the old patent, get your popcorn out. Kate Hattie changed his setup just a little smidge, not too much, and we saw how dominant he was on that high side. Just couldn't get any help. His car looked like a vacuum there at the last race. And after the last race, we had sliders at Roval. Buck coming out with the win. Mills coming out second. Wicked and Buck put on one heck of a show. So did Mills and Noco. But guys, points are going to be valued tonight in the Custom Cup Series Giggity Racing on Wednesday night. Excuse me.
It sounds like we are just moments away from getting this race started right there, I think they're just wrapping up qualifying now. Some of the key points about Talladega, man, it's not about the question of if the big one, but when. And with a lot tonight on the line, do we see more frequent cautions than we might see in a typical race here in Giggity?
I'm hoping not, but these guys, every position, every point values, especially like I said, to Noco, who's leading the points with 2,048. RJ right behind him. Wicked, Buck, Mills, Kate Hattie, Mills are on the bubble like we talked about. We do have a couple wild cards. We know they can drive. Trey and Robbie tonight. They added some captains in tonight, so we have a couple wild cards that might be able to disrupt the points at the last second. Anybody can win this race. Anybody at any point in time with that draft, and depending upon what help they have, can pull one out tonight. So let's see if those guys can be a factor to shake the points up a little bit there, Alex.
So many unknown factors going into Talladega Super Speedway, trying to make yourself in position to keep yourself up in the racetrack. You've seen some varying strategies throughout. Do you play this race up front, keep yourself in front of the big one, try and make sure that you yourself advance, but that's very exhausting having to defend all day long. We do know at some point you're going to get 2 and 3 wide action. That's what allows Talladega to be so fun for the fans, but nerve-wracking for the drivers. These guys don't necessarily get a break. Or do you play it the safe route and you stay in the back? Some of these guys have already advanced to the next round, have made names for themselves early in the season. Do they use the benefit of that earlier success and allow that themselves to just ride around in the back and try to be up there in the front? I don't know what the winning strategy is going to be like tonight, but it'll be interesting to see who goes where, and who does what as the race progresses.
Well, it's Talladega.
Go ahead, Mark. I forgot.
Sorry about that.
No, you're good, buddy. Take it.
Being hell is Talladega, I don't see many people sitting at the back. Everybody wants this trophy just like they do Daytona, Charlotte. It's one of the crown jewels of the series, of the sport. Everybody wants to get up there and win on this super speedway. So, and the fact that it's custom setups, everybody's been working hard getting these cars dialed in. They know what they can do. They know what they're going to do, and I don't think we're going to see a lot of sitting at the back. We're going to be too wide, especially that high line. I know for a fact, y'all seen it before, Kate Hattie and his crew, you know, they're going to be up running up there. They don't want to sit at the back. They want to be up there trying to lead every lap. So I expect to see that happen early if he can get enough people to go with him. And sometimes in that draft, it'll also slide you high going into the corners. It'll push your car up the track, give you way to that bottom, and therefore you've got 3 wide. So it's definitely going to be hectic to see who can actually keep their car stuck to the bottom and who's going to take the chance of going high.
Sometimes going into turn one, we all know that on sliders the car can be unstable. I got to do a practice race with quite a few of these guys on these custom cars. These cars are very, very stable. They're like glue going through the corners. It's going to be a matter of patience and working your way to the front. Speaking of patience, real quick, Kate Hattie and Robbie, we all know, are very patient drivers. But a couple races ago, Kate Hattie says, "I'm in the points. My patience level is running a little bit low. I'm going to start driving a little bit more aggressive." We know that he's not going to wreck anybody. He's not going to do anything deliberate, but he's not going to necessarily stay to the back. Maybe Trey, Robbie, being new out there, might. But real quick, thanks to everybody out there in the YouTube world. We already got a message out there from Coco Money. That's Money Mike himself. We have the man, the myth, the legend, Alex Neck with Old Pinky Pudding. This is going to be awesome. Don't forget about Boomhauer up here and Archangel doing the broadcast tonight. Thanks for everybody joining. I know we're going to have a lot more chat comments coming through, but man, I'm stoked, man. These guys put on one heck of a show at the last plate race in a custom cup car.
This is going to be an exciting race. I look forward, love being in pack racing. I think it's actually very well done on the NASCAR Heat 4.
Oh yeah, it brings the competition. It brings it out more. Whenever you can run side by side, running 210, 215 mile an hour, 3 wide, lap after lap after lap, the way you hold it there, it brings everybody. It makes everybody better. It boosts your confidence. You're already in the mindset. I've got to do this. I've got to do this. You get out here and you start running. You are 3 wide, 2, 3 rows deep with all these people, and you're sitting here thinking, "Holy crap, we're actually doing this! All right." And the more you do it, the better it gets. The more confident you become, the more bolder moves you're going to make, which makes for some great racing.
Yeah, and as we all know, Alex is definitely one to be a force to be reckoned with, which we've been working for a while. His work schedule is on the border of him coming over to Giggity. I know you and I, Alex, I think I won in 98 against you, and my one win against you came at Talladega, side by side. We didn't touch, and it was by the matter of a hair. I'm wondering if that's what we're going to see tonight. You brought up the big one earlier. Unfortunately, I don't want to see it happen, but it definitely could. These guys are all well-balanced drivers. They're in custom cars. They race with each other, not only more than one season, but public lobbies. So these guys race with each other a lot. So let's see how everything pans out tonight, and we are definitely in for a show. As Noko says, get your popcorn out, boys and girls.
Well, the reason why I was so quiet at the beginning, I wasn't grabbing popcorn. I had to grab something else for the show got started.
Real quick, Alex, just to let you know, this Boomhauer, you've raced with him. We affectionately call ourselves the Keystone Cowboys just because of the adult beverages. There we go, as the adult beverages that we both like to partake in ourselves. But once again, guys, Archangel up in the booth, running the broadcast, he's going to chime in. I know it's Boomhauer, and again, Alex, great to have you up here. I know you're feeling under the weather, man, so it means a lot to have you up here, but there's been a lot of people wanting to see this happen, and look, the chat is already blowing up, man. This is awesome.
I'm just glad to be up here with y'all.
Well, we'll see what I can do. I apologize for in my voice.
But everybody knows what you can do, and we know that you're under the weather. For you to participate and join with us tonight and be up here with us feeling under the weather, that means even more.
Mad respect.
And that's a lot of respect, man. So thanks again, Alex. I know that, I don't know, have you gone back? Have you watched any of the Giggity races online on YouTube, Alex? Anything of any races?
I've watched plenty of races. I'm just not familiar with the points and all just coming in here mid-season. But, I mean, Giggity has some of the highest caliber of people driving on PS4, and so I'm just honored to have been asked and approached, and I'm sorry again, my voice. We're gonna get this party started. You know what? I've already lost my voice, and Talladega hasn't even started, boys and gentlemen. This race is going to make everybody lose their voice by the end of it.
Probably.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with him. Let's kick the tires and light the fires on this one. Hopefully, Alex and I both aren't told at the end of the night to take a breath, and both of us don't end up with a heart attack, because, man, this is going to be a good one, guys. Thanks again to everybody out there, Kate Hattie, all the administrators, Snowco, RKM, RJ Spitty, all the new guys, Trey, Robbie. There's so much that goes on between our Dirt League, our Truck League, our Xfinity, the Cups, the Customs, all the way to the Sliders, plus our Development League. These guys have a life. They go out, they work, and then they still, throughout the day, take your messages and respond as quickly as they can and try to reconcile any circumstance that might be at odds. So if it wasn't for our administrators out there who helped make this possible with all of you great drivers, I mean, we wouldn't have Giggity Racing League. And earlier today, I was spoiled. I got into a public lobby, and next thing I know, boom, 80% of them was you guys. I would much rather drive with you guys any day of the week.
Hey guys, sorry to interrupt you, but we gotta accept real quick. We're gonna blue screen.
No problem. Here we go, guys.
Actually, can someone send me another invite?
Guys, we're all going to click in and we're going to get this show on the road.
Invite if the broadcast wants to go ahead and get to the invite.
Again.
There you are. All right, it's sent. There you go, brother.
There you go, man. We're in there. And it definitely helps when you do appear online. I know a lot of us like to hide a little bit, but we're jumping into this race. Giggity, giggity, giggity. It's Dega Racing, boys. That's Money Mike out there in YouTube land says. Tom Horton, better known as Dirt Dog, feeling under the weather. We've raced with him quite a bit. We raced with him late night in Civ Lobby. He's not going to be on tonight. Thanks for joining. So, Dirt Dog, everybody's hoping that you can feel better here soon and get back out there on the track with us. We're getting ready to jump right in, guys.
Ooh, sorry, I had to yawn there for a minute. It's way too early for all that. We got too much action coming ahead as we see Noco in the lead already.
His car. Oh, we see Mills already upside down as we jump right into this. Yeah, Mills flying upside down. I followed Noco today in my custom, and his custom straight pulled away from me. I don't know if that was an accident. I don't know if that was a lag, but it doesn't appear no harm, no foul, guys, as we're going right there. Noco in the lead. RJ Smitty, Roofer right behind him in that 21 car. I know for Alex, it's going to be a little bit more difficult trying to learn the numbers of these drivers, and it's even more fun when they change their paint schemes to the next race. But yeah, that Black Notorious #1, he had a great run of wins going and got spoiled and sold a little bit there last week by his teammates putting on good racing. Man, these guys are already 2 and 3 wide. Cars look pretty stable. Again, we talked about that being on customs. That high line, man, there's 2 cars already up there.
All right, let's take a run through the field. Like you said, we got Noco up front. We got RJ Smitty in second. We got that 21 of MP Roofer sitting in third. We got that 34 of Trey sitting up there running in fourth. That 00 of Buck running in the top 5 as the 34 gets shuffled up. And here comes 9, the 48, and the 42 Wicked Gatekeeper. All slingshotting him. Left him out to dry.
Yeah, guys, right now it looks like things have started to calm down a little bit up front. See 5 cars making it single file. You see the 1 car, looked to the outside briefly. And when you're single file like this, making a move on this person in front of you, it gets a little bit tougher.
It does. You've got to have somebody behind you. I mean, you've got to have somebody pushing. If you make that move and nobody goes with you, you're going to get hung out to dry. You're going to be at the back of the pack in a heartbeat before you can even get to the next corner. It's going to be done and over with, and you're going to have to start all the way from scratch again. That's why it's important to be in the communication with your teammates.
And as we see a lead change, guys, Noco went to the high side. Quite a few people went with him. Only 4 cars on that high side. As I'm clicking through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it appears to be 6 cars on that inside drive. 6 against 4. They're making that long draft trail right there on the inside work. So it looks like we have a new lead change. RJ Smitty,
and here
but to the inside.
Teddy and Trey on the inside, making it 3 wide.
HWH, Taddy, high, wide, and hands. We talked about it a little bit earlier.
He didn't take it high wide. He went through the middle. He split them. He said, y'all get out of my way.
He's trying to get it back up there. Yep, Noco's in an unfamiliar position right now to super speedway, falling back, but he's got teammates, and there's plenty of laps left in the draft, Alex.
Yeah, I don't know if Noco exactly wanted to do that. A couple of laps ago, it looked like the 1 car just got off the apron, and that's exactly what set that whole chain of events into motion. You saw the crazy 3 wide action. They've been able to single file themselves out. That's just how quickly Talladega can become treacherous in a matter of seconds there. One person makes a slight mistake. It's not just the leader that's going to have to deal with it. It's everybody in the back of the pack.
Taddy looked like he fooled Wicked Gatekeeper and Noko. Looked like he bounced outside again, like he was going to make a run for it. Those two pulled out, and then he shot back down the inside line with the rest of the pack and left him out to dry.
Once again, guys, we got a lead change. That Buck, the guy, your Roval winner from last week. Yep, right behind him, that beautiful Hooters number 9 of Chuckmate Taylor. Right behind him, the 48 of Spinker, and then you got 34 right there pulling behind him, guys. 2 cars on the high side. Kate Taddy's got a little bit of help. Can he get enough? No, go to the inside and further back. They are. Nope, there's 3. Wait. Wicked Gatekeepers go back upside. Man, we are already seeing how these guys want to win this race. It's Talladega. Who doesn't want that resume? Who doesn't want that trophy? And again, some of these guys' points are going to be of much value tonight.
I gotta say though, having those cars up front, especially with Spinker and who's in the 48 again?
48 is Spinker. 9 is Chuckmate Taylor.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Chuckmate, Spinker, and RD, all 3 Chevrolets running up there near each other. It's going to be hard to slingshot somebody with them up there. I think they're going to be the ones to try to pull it off. They're talking to each other. Buck don't have, communication really with actual teammates per se, I don't believe. So it looks like he's going to be out there on the island on his own. So I think if the 9 and the 48 and the 24 want to do something, I think they'll definitely try to pull it off.
And Noko back there in the back by himself went high. Got no help. He was on Gilligan's Island by himself. He needs to get back to the draft and pulls back in that draft. Yes, Wicked's right there. Spinker and Chuckmate Taylor still pushing Buck to the front, guys. I think early in this stage, you just want to stay as close tight as possible and not lose that draft. Excuse me. I'm also trying something new tonight, so apologize for that. Okay, thank you. Bye. Boom. Look at that go. These guys are putting on one heck of a show, Alex. What do you think for your first time up here in the broadcast booth for after 4 or 5 laps, man? Look at these guys go at it.
It's clean and green right now, but we know that anything could happen up here. I do like what I'm seeing as far as everyone holding their line right now. It looks pretty tame so far, but you have such a duty as the leader to take care of the guys behind you, even though they're your enemies. In your rearview mirror here, the 00 is doing a great job allowing the 9 car to push him, and that's allowing this car, in this race, to be strung out a little bit because we don't have people that are, nose to tail whipping one another. That's usually when trouble breaks out.
And here comes Smitty and Taddy on the outside. They're going to try to make it work. 2 against 4. Let's see who's going to be able to do it. If anybody's going to go with them or not. Looks like Noko and Wicked teammates have hooked back up together. They're going to stick to the bottom, and they're going to go right by him. Oh, Teddy tried to cut off Noko as he succeeds, and Smitty is out to dry with Mills and Trey on his bumper.
Remember, Mills and Kate Taddy are on the bump for the points tonight bumper. I'll just call it that. Yes, for 2 points. So those guys really got to work up there really hard to get there. So, and we all know how strong Kate Taddy is on the outside by himself. Oh, yes. When he gets into a 1, 2, 3 car draft, that car is super wicked fast. But Mills and Kate Taddy on the bump. Yeah, especially. And that's what he's trying to do, Boom. He's trying to get back up there. But Mills and Kate Taddy definitely got to put some points down not to get bumped. We are kicking 2 people back out. They are getting eliminated. Car into the wall. That's the 2 of Mills. That's going to slow him down, Alex. Don't want to do that.
He might lose the draft. Maybe. Depends on... I'll keep an eye on this back here to see if he loses the draft or not, but it looks like that car is getting smaller and smaller in Smitty's mirror, so that is not good for him.
That is definitely not good, especially in his point situation like we were just talking about.
And yep, he has lost the draft.
But we do have stages to stay in, and as our buddy Warpig always says, Mills.
Things got a little bit close right there between the 00 and the 9 car. Looks like a little bit of anticipation setting in that track. You're right. I've noticed myself that when you're, outside of the draft by a second here, you're basically out on Gilligan's Island. You're not going to be able to keep up with the draft. That plays such a factor at Talladega. You can never get away from anybody, but that's also frustrating because you're in this pack like they are right now, and you have nowhere to go.
As the 48 makes a move on the inside of Noko, gets him
spun out of the back
there.
Outside. I'm going to flip back and see who that was. There was a car that got spun.
He was back there by himself.
Unfortunate for Mills. It is important not to go a lap down here. If you do need to make green flag pit stops at a track that is not very lap down prone per se. If you get out and get with some drafting help and everything, but you do have stages, Mills. Like I said, stay in it, buddy. Take that Mustang Deuce car of yours and take it to the front, because, buddy, we know what you're doing tonight.
Yep, he told me he was going to take care of it, so Mills, I'm still holding you to your word.
Buck's still up here with Chuckmate pushing him. Buck's had such a last great weekend on the sliders. Again, tonight being on custom cars, custom Cup, Giggity Racing, Super Speedway. Then we're going a little bit of short track racing afterward. Their mindset's going to have to change. But we're going to get back to that here in a minute, guys. Look at this Wicked Gatekeeper prowling. And Roofer in that 21 car. We've talked to him so many times. He loves super speedways, and he is so frustrated when he can't get a good finish because of something. But great to see Roofer up there, guys. And holy cow, it makes me want to go put my race suit on and jump down there with him.
The other one I checked in a little bit in the back of the pack right now. We're seeing a couple of cars that have decided not to hang out with that lead pack, kind of back to that strategy I was talking about earlier in our green race show before the race. Looks like the 37, the 20, and the 19, the 2019 being teammates right there, along with Chris Buescher being pushed. They are a little bit outside of harm's way right now. And they have 3 cars, so they don't necessarily need to make their way up to the front. I don't see an urgency of going a lap down with this strategy as well. These guys are just kind of hanging out.
That's the best thing for them. Just stick together. Don't go a lap down. No, you got a stage coming up, Alex, and boom, no code to the back. I think he's just playing it a little bit cooler. But let me tell you what I told you earlier when we were practicing. I got into a 2-car draft, and I was pushing Noco. And because of the way he sets his cars up, I know rear gear ratio for him is a big factor in custom cars. He straight walked my dog. He left me hanging out. So Noco definitely has a setup. Probably playing a little bit patient, knowing that he's comfortable in the points right now, but at the end of the night, he's going to go for that black and white flag, not worrying about that green and white right now.
Looks like we have some takers on to pit road. That second pack I was talking to you about, all on pit road right now. So if the caution does come out, these guys would be your leaders.
And it's kind of weird because you got Maddie in the 19, you got Flo in the 20. They're teammates of that 11 car and K Teddy. So you figured that they would kind of be on the same strategy. So that's making things a little bit interesting there.
Real quick, just got a text message from my buddy over here at Boomhauer. Archangel is broadcasting, is having some microphone difficulties, so please don't ignore the fact that Arch is here, and he is a big factor in all of our broadcasts. He does help do all the broadcasts, help me teach the broadcast. He does a lot of commentary, so Arch, sorry for your microphone. We hope you can get that work, but don't forget about him being up here. But yes, Boom, Alex Dad put in the booth for this Custom Cup Giggity Racing race tonight, guys.
All right, so we got the 34 back. Is that the 34 of Trey back there with Noco? Yes, it is.
Wow.
So he's making his way up there, starting to shuffle.
I want to say,
too wide.
Whatever happened to that first pack, it was a disastrous pit stop. 20 cars just now getting up to speed. 37 car got up there with no drafting up, which tells me that 19 also must have taken something different as this front pack begins to set in.
Here comes the 1 and the 42 and the 00 of Buck. They are all pitting.
Buck pulls back out. I don't know if Buck missed the commitment cone.
No, I don't believe he did.
I think he made it.
He might have been speeding, though.
Yeah, if he was definitely trying to lock it up to keep from getting that penalty. I didn't know if he missed it there. Sorry, guys. Wow, that was intense on Buck. We got Noco on pit lane. RJ Smitty right back in the pack, and that 21 MP Roofer loves himself his plate race up front. 48 Sphincter pushing him. K Taddy on the outside by himself. I'm going to start calling him the vacuum cleaner at these long drafts because he knows how to run. He knows how to make that air work for him.
And Wicked is already off pit road while Buck and Noco both are still on pit road. So
more cars going down.
Trouble.
RJ Spinney looks like.
Wow, the 9 and the 48 car coming to pit road. Neither of them got it down to speed, and that's half of Hendrick Motorsports with pit road penalties on that entrance. I saw the 48 and the 9 make contact. Looked like the 24 car, I don't know, excuse me, I'm still learning names. All had an issue. Obviously, was a team order to get onto pit lane, but how they did so, it's going to cost these guys some time.
Great eye. I'm glad you were on there when you got 3 people up in here. You guys got what?
Noco Spin's coming, trying to get back on the track. The 1 car is around.
That is a very uncharacteristic mistake for the notorious Noco.
And you see it right here live. The 24 car, he does not have his teammates in front of them at all because they both hit going into pit road. So that was a disastrous stop. The 24, that's RJ Smitty, he's a victim to that because those guys that were going to help him get up to speed are now penalized way in the back. So you could have a good pit stop and still be screwed out of staying up with the draft. It depends on how others get on the pit road as well.
Yeah, just remember, Alex and Boom, that as long as you can stay on that lane lap, when that next stage comes around, you can be a factor. You start in the back, which isn't always a bad thing, but depending on how the drivers are in front of you are. But to stay on that lead lap, that's the most important thing for these drivers right now.
All right, let's see if MP, Roofer, Trey, and Teddy is going to make their pit stops now. They're the only three that has not pitted yet, and it doesn't look like they are.
Yeah, they go by. They take that and Wicked Gatekeeper right in front of him in that 42 McDonald's car by himself, no drafting help, and he's got a 3-car train coming up behind him. Talking about that laps, talking about going down a lap down. If these guys pit the next time by, that might save Wicked, Boom and Alex.
Yeah, I'd like to know exactly how many laps they have to go to see what strategy these guys might be pulling.
Roofer might be broadcasting.
But the benefit of these guys staying out, you force the others to kind of be on their heels right now as far as the caution comes out. You don't want to be one of those guys that had a mistake. Right now, these are your fastest guys on the racetrack. They're your leaders, and everybody that made a mistake is out there by themselves. So these guys are eating up that time. You see the first victim just ahead of the 21. That looks to be the 42.
Yep, that's the Wicked Gatekeeper car.
And if he goes a lap down, you're going to begin to see other people might fall victim to the strategy as well. So, tense moments here at Talladega. It's never just riding around here. There's a whole lot of storylines each and every one of these drivers are following at over 200 miles an hour. So, we're going to see exactly what plays out when these front three decide to pit.
And here they come up on Wicked, so it looks like he's possibly going to lose that lap unless they pit this go around.
In the draft
looks
here,
like these guys are falling back just a little bit. That tells me these guys are giving themselves plenty of room. Allow yourself to get regrouped after the pit stop. 21 car stuck underneath the yellow line. All 3 cars now on the brakes, 55 miles an hour. And it looks like they give each other a wide berth. That is how it's done. That's how it's executed here. Getting onto pit road, your leaders all within the guidelines set by the game. We'll see how they'll fare against the rest of the field that had issues.
We've seen that before. Personally, Alex, you, me, Boom, K-Taddy, all of these guys, man, it is hard to go from 200 miles an hour, get on the binders, downshift, get on the brakes, and get in there nice and smooth without a penalty. We have seen some penalties that will cost them. But it cost those guys. But look, those guys might have taken 2 tires or fuel only. K-Taddy and the 37 Leaf. Roofer still being on pit road, not lagged out. Car still back and forth. Don't know if he had any damage. Looks like he might be taking all 4. Still watching MP Roofer. That's unfortunate. He is now pulling out. Just lost his 2 drafting partners. So the 37 and the 11 of K-Taddy right now are hooked together. MP Roofer out to dry on that pit stop. Pit strategy is definitely playing into key as we see the 42 go right back around. MP Roofer is that's Wicked Gatekeeper who they were getting ready to lap. Alex and Boom.
Yeah, I am trying to figure out exactly who the leader is right now, so that makes the pit stops. I think. Sorry, y'all. This is always very frustrating.
I'm looking for somebody's live broadcast, but I'm not finding it.
A lot happened right there.
Yes, it did.
But we know that the 11. It depends on what they took, because I don't see.
I think they took fuel only. I think
fuel only. Okay. They might have broken apart on strategy, and so we see the 11 and the 34. Nose to tail. I believe that might be who your leader is the 11.
The 11 and him and Trey stay bumper to bumper the entire time through that pit stop cycle. I think they're about the only 2 that actually stayed with each other, so they probably have the advantage right now, because with Noco spinning coming off pit road, that left Buck by himself. Wicked took gas only, so he was able to get out by himself without his other teammates. So it looks like these 2 are the only ones that played the strategy right and it actually worked out to their favor.
Back here, we got Mills leading this 3-car pack. We got Mills go with the flow and Noco, so they do have drafting help right now. Tires, not a huge factor here as much as fuel. Maybe that's why we did see fuel only, right sides only. Everybody has their own way of playing it.
Well, now, the storyline is going to be getting on the pit road. We're not seeing the raspy yellow flags that we might have seen, but
I just got an update from Money Mike out there. Kate, Hattie, and Trey are running 1 and 2. So thank you for all of our YouTube video. Yep, there we go. Thank you. We appreciate that. That definitely helps us up in your broadcast.
And we were able to decipher. We were right. So that gives us confidence up in the booth as well.
Oh, absolutely.
I wish they would make it a little easier for people to broadcast, Alex, and I know you know that too. Especially in a race like this, I think they should have a different kind of broadcasting mode just for people to watch to help it out a little bit.
That telemetry would be amazing. It would
as you was talking about putting with Taddy and Mills being right there on the bubble, to get knocked out of the playoffs, with Taddy leading these laps, probably maybe have a great chance of taking this stage. That'll definitely give him a little bit of a cushion.
How many laps do we have to go?
How many laps do we have out there? If anybody in YouTube world could definitely help us out. Remember, Trey being one of the new captains to Giggity Racing. Congratulations to him. He got put in tonight as a captain's pick, as did Robbie Vids. And he's sitting up here pushing and helping out the commander-in-chief and that number 11 in that 11 car, K Taddy. So great to see Trey having an awesome run tonight in his wild card opportunity in a cup for the end of the season that we're coming up on.
All right, we got a lot of questions popping up on this broadcast right now. Tom Horton asked how many packs on the track.
A lot.
Yeah.
We do have one pack coming across the start-finish line right now, heading to turn 1. Looks like this could be a battle for that second main pack. I believe these are all the guys that were not a victim to somewhat of penalty, maybe someone else's penalty, but still the 24 car. He lost his teammates, but now he's back in sync with the 9.
That 9 car looks
and
like
the 21, so that would tell me
good.
the 48 car was the only one that received that speeding penalty. They are single file, and I believe this is a battle again, 3rd through about 7th place.
I think it's survival right now to the end of the first stage. Just survival mode, get to that end of that stage, get back in there, get yourself 4 fresh balonies, belly full of fuel, make the adjustments on these custom cars if need be, and stay on that lead lap. So when they rack them and stack them, we can get a big old pack going here, because it's great. Not too long ago, guys, we saw 14 cars in one long draft here from numerous laps. It was awesome to see.
Well, I have a question coming up for the end of this stage that I'm, probably going to be a little bit going to catch my curiosity. With a couple of the drivers that had issues getting, early in the stage, like Mills, he spun, went down pit road. The way Noko, spun coming off of pit road, we might have multiple drivers a lap down starting stage 2.
I think the only person
not pit.
I think the only person that is a lap down though right now is the 42. I do want to reiterate that, because if he's the only one, I don't think anybody else is going to be able to be passed by the 11 and the 34.
Oh, no.
The 2 car actually might be in lap down as well.
What about that number 1 car, Noko? And we know he spun coming off, getting back up to speed.
Oh, was he already put a lap down? He
Go
might
ahead,
have
guys.
been, man.
I just saw somebody popped up a question right there on the YouTube channel. Ryan Morgan, as we know him, RKM, says Pinky gets confused with one question. Ha 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 ha. Glad I got to talk to you a little bit today, RKM, but not too many questions, just so much action we're working with, especially with our
trouble! Out of turn number 2, the 20 car, around. That is the Eric Jones machine. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off there, but my goodness, it was a single car incident in turn number 2 that could do another car. Yeah, so that place is under caution. That might be under caution or the end of the stage.
End of the stage. K Taddy was already slowing down while those guys were already racing.
Yeah.
All right. We have more people. I'm watching screen. They're still racing back to the lines. We haven't gotten to 10th place yet. That sucks, though, between teammates. It was the 19 that got into the side of the 20.
That would be Maddie and Goat Flow, Underdog Racing.
Thanks again for everybody out there. We're giving you guys a little bit of updates. Again, Alex Nett up in the booth. Great to have you here. Our Arch working that broadcast for us. He does a great job doing it. Boom Howard, pudding as always, man. Talladega Custom Cup. We're getting ready to say it, Boom. And I just got an image from our leader, our fearless leader. I think that will be our stage-ending finishing order. It looks like we got K Taddy first, Trey second, Checkmate Taylor in that 9, MP Roofer fourth, and that 21 Wicked Gatekeeper, that car that we thought was going to be a lap down, ends up fifth. Robbie Vids, the Aussie himself, in sixth. RJ Smitty seventh. Buck 8th, Mills 9th, and Maddie finishes out our top 10, and we don't see that notorious NoCo. I wonder if he's got something planned for these guys. Thank you for that image real quick there, Mr. Taddy. Keep up with the good work out there, good sir, as we get ready to go green flag racing.
All right, here we go. We got Teddy on the inside. They're racking and stacking. They're pulling them belts tight because here they go into turn number 2 now. Looks like that inside line, that restart, man, it's just...
Oh. You see a lot of stuff. It is, normally in real life we don't see a lot of that side-by-side action on a restart there, but it is nerve-wracking getting up to speed and following the guy up in front. As we see contact into the wall. 48 and the 2 made contact. Yep. 3 wide briefly. Now the 34 car. He was your second-place driver. He's into the wall. The 19 car also brushing the wall out of turn 4. And the 34 car almost went from hero to zero. In fact, he did. He'll lose the draft because of that. Wow.
Unfortunate circumstance, guys.
Yeah, I hate to see it, Trey.
Sorry, I tried to be fresh. Yeah, I hate to see it.
No, you take it, Alex. It's an honor and a privilege to have you up here in the booth. We've all heard you numerous times, man. There's so many people out there in Giggity Land who have wanted to hear you up in the booth. So thanks for being here, especially under the weather. That means a lot to everybody out there.
And I hate to cut you off there, Puddin'. I was about to say, they are every single one of them single file. I don't believe I have seen this race or any other race at Talladega where every person is running in a straight line.
I don't see that happening for very long. We know how powerful Kate Daddy's car is.
But he's also in the front, so he don't have to go to the high side.
That's exactly true also.
and putting up the driver cap for a moment, I think something that's so hard for a lot of these guys to be able to trust, and allow me to go on a tangent here for a sec. I believe it's how NASCAR Heat 4 and how people believe the draft kind of works. Now, if I'm in second place right now, because you mentioned how fast the 11 car, these are custom race setups, so it doesn't surprise me that you might have a guy that is hard to beat by himself. But that's the thing, that's by himself. You guys need to work with one another in the pack to try and move him up. I see more people have success, more drivers have success when the guys that are at the front of the pack decide, hey, we're not going to follow the leader. Let's let the leader chase us. If you move that inside line all the way to the high side, I guarantee you that 11 car, he's going to go with you.
That is some great insight, Alex. And real quick, Ryan Morgan, RKM out there. Alex, thumbs up and out there on the broadcast and YouTube world. So again, thanks, Ryan, RKM, for following along. Alex, you are already a hero. We know what you are. A lot of support. People are happy. We're all happy to have you here. I know this has been ready to happen for a long time. So, but guys, we are single file. A couple cars falling off that draft. That is not good for them. As long as they go down, don't go down and lap down. But I'm trying to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 car single car draft. Snail trailing, guys. This is awesome. 1 car goes to the high side. Can anybody go with him? No, go with the flow in that 20. Gets hung out to dry. Looks like he's going to the back. Roofer's right there with him. Falling on board with RJ Spitty in the 5th place position. He is just hanging on too, man. No one's giving him any help. He sucks back into that draft, guys.
Thing is, how long do you want to stay single car? I mean, do you want to ride in the back of this, or do you want to try to get your way up there and say, listen, I belong up to the lead too. I've got a fast car. I want to prove it. So do you keep trying to get that high line and somebody to go with you, or you just finally say enough is enough, nobody's going, and just stay there?
Patience is a virtue. If you go to the high side, you got to hope and pray somebody goes with you, Boom. But yeah, right now, you don't want to lose the draft. Some of these guys saw that at the first stage. I wonder if that's going to change their pit strategy now that there's this many cars in one line, unless that yellow flag comes out. But I think these guys want to stick with each other. So we see Speeder get a little loose at the apron, go to the outside.
All right, getting a little bit dicey up here now. Let's see what's going to happen. Excuse me, I had a burp that I did not want to come out, but it did anyway, so my apologies. As we see them shuffling just a little bit, I can only imagine how fast they're running in a straight line like that. Everybody, it's 9, and Checkmate Taylor loses the draft, kicks out to the high side, and he is going to get freight trained.
That is something you don't want to happen here, Alex. And guess what? These guys already have to concentrate so hard at this track not to lose the draft and focus on what they got going on. But then we're going to Iowa after this. They're going to have to focus on short track racing too. Two different aspects, two different disciplines of what we do have here in Cup racing. Like you said, they don't bring the Cup cars there. These guys have been working real hard on their Iowa Cup Iowa Cup setups because it's a lot of horsepower for a little bit of a track.
Yes, it is.
So right now, we know that the 11 car, he's pretty fast. He's your stage 1 winner. No one's been able to really muscle a charge to the outside, which is where you're going to need to go to make this pass. I always say go where they're not. Well, if the 11 car's on the inside, you need to take them to the outside. That being said, it's only the second stage. So how much? Oh, we've got a car on the apron right there. That was the 20.
That was going to flow.
In trouble. Gathers it back up there, but our attention returns back to his teammate up front, continuing to lead the 11 car.
I gotta say,
do you decide?
Car.
Whoa, things are still getting dicey. Now the 1 car checking out to the underneath the yellow line. You can
moved his way up to
advance
6.
your position to the outside of that yellow line. You cannot do it on the double yellow line here.
I don't know what car you guys are following or what camera view you are following on. I'm following on board with our leader right now, Kate Taddy, our stage 1 winner in that number 11. But that reverse camera angle is so awesome. Yeah, it is so awesome to see that. It makes it so easy to broadcast because of that, so you can see everything that's happening. That's why I do love watching these guys at super speedways.
We got 3 cars on the high line. Looks like they're going to try to make a run for it. Can 3 contest with 6 or 7 cars? It's going to be difficult, but if they can stay in a straight line, stay hooked on each other's bumpers, they might be able to make a little bit of a push.
Yeah, see the 00 car. Yeah. He got shuffled out of line. Help, he'll think better of it.
Because Noco and Buck both want to get back up here with that 42 Wicked running in a second right now. They're the teammates. Those 3 are in a chat party, all 3 by themselves. They want to try to stay, in contact near each other so they can run the same strategies, everything, have a game plan going forward. So having them, shuffled back the way they are, I'm not sure how big of a wrench that's thrown in their game plan right now.
Right now what's going to help those guys on the outside is if that inside line begins to get bottled up. But right now, you see the 1 car. What stalls out the process on that outside line are the guys on the inside line.
Yep, that side draft. It pushes against the nose of your car, and it slows you down.
That 37 car, guys, somebody we haven't talked about, but was it, that's my buddy, my homeboy. We all know him as
from
Aussie
across
Robbie.
The pond.
Aussie Robbie over there in England. Everybody will get the joke later on if they don't already know it. Sitting right there in 3rd. If for you guys who don't know, he raced in one of the toughest dirt lobbies we ever had last night in his very, very few dirt debuts and set the fastest lap of the A main, not only making the A main. So great to see Aussie Robbie up there and sitting in 3rd place at this race. He is a patient guy. But again, he doesn't want to take these points leaders out, but he definitely says, hey, I own my own team. Do I deserve to be here next year? I think Robbie's trying to prove it as RJ Smitty and Buck, Noco, and Roofer are pushing him to catch up with the, there's a little bit of gap between Kate Taddy and Wicked Gatekeeper.
Maybe that's by strategy. Maybe they're backing off a little bit, trying to get that run coming out of the corner. That's the best way to do it. Give that a little bit of a gap. That way you can suck up that car behind you while they're still pushing you. Get that slingshot engaged, quote Ricky Bobby.
He does Robbie does normally run that 73. Yep, there goes Noco to the high side. Robbie normally runs that 73. I see it as a reverse 37. That is for his kid, so that is an honor out there for him. So, Noco goes to the high side. Gets no help.
Trout, we're thinking of you still, man. We haven't forgot about you. Hope you're getting better every day, man.
Yes, and everybody knows they Trout out there. Thank you to everybody in Giggity for everything that you guys have done for him. Ed, though, same thing with you. Hope you're getting better, man. We had a charity race for Ed, though, raised enough money for his medical procedure. It's so cool to see how everybody here in Giggity comes together and helps each other. Just the other day, I had a message from somebody who says, hey, I don't know if I'll be able to race Friday night because of my PSN right now, and I lost my job. Somebody else stepped up and took care of that. Everybody in Giggity helps take care of each other.
That is a great story.
Yeah, they raised over $2,000 to help Ed, though, Alex. I don't know if you know that, but in one race, 3 hours, they put that race together in 3 hours and raised almost $800 for Ed, though, for his medical transplant.
That's awesome. You
Yes,
cannot
it
tell
is.
me that the gaming
Great story.
world, these guys aren't, real life friends just because we don't
Yes.
see these guys. I think that's what makes NASCAR Heat 4 racing so much of a community. That's what makes different leagues feel like a community. And I think Giggity does that greatly here as we continue to see your leader lead up front, the 11 car. He's being pushed by the 42. But
We
that's
keep
such a
seeing
great
them
story,
on
and
high
I'm
line.
glad to be part of it.
Here they come again. They are not going to quit, as it looks like the 48
Yeah,
is
the 48 car, he
had
had a
one
good
heck of a
run,
run.
but it's going to stall out.
Yep, only not
Noco
having
goes to the
Noco
high
on his
side to catch it
bumper.
with him.
If Noco could have stayed a little bit closer to his bumper, somebody else along with him, they might have been able to do something, but only having 1 to 2 cars, it's just not going to work.
Well, and you have to wonder about, it goes back to those storylines. Each and every one of these drivers, yeah, they want to get to the front, obviously, but
they don't
you have
wanna
to wonder
lose
what's
positions.
at stake here. Are the 11 and the 42, do they need to be up front, or they can just, hang out? The 37 car as well. Does he like where he is at? So you might be racing against each other on the track, but you're also racing against each other, different strategies that have all been in place since basically took the green flag at Daytona. These guys all have varying strategies and agendas getting to the front.
Absolutely. Oh, it looks like somebody made contact at the back. I can't see who they are, but they're running side by side right now. Alright, that's clear.
Yeah, Mills back here. Mills was running by himself, saw that lead pack coming, jumps down, making a green flag pit stop. Will unfortunately go a lap down, depending upon when these drivers and how they do it. Mills should be able to get that lap back and stay on the lead lap for that third stage coming up, guys. But yeah, Mills was on the pit lane, and we just had a question from RKM, Ryan Morgan out there wanting to know where he was running, and he's not happy to hear that. But Mills, stay in it, buddy, stay in it. You got it. You have patience. You're a great guy. We all know who you are, and we know your determination. So it would not surprise me to see Mills back in the lead pack here in the third stage.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, no,
no,
that
catches the
hard.
wall.
Big hit!
As here
And that
comes
all began with the 11 car had a
the
mistake heading into
42.
turn number 3. You see the rest of the field taking advantage. Now we have people going down pit road. Looks like the 00 car will bail out.
and
Things
Noco
shuffling
will
up
follow.
front.
As here comes RJ Smitty, MP Roofer, Spanker, and Chuck McTaylor. Looks like we got those 3 Hendrick cars running right there in line together with Roofer in between them. Let's see what's going to happen here. Are they going to stay behind Wicked and everybody, or are they going to try to make their own run? As Teddy drops back in line, he's got, I believe that is Flo right behind him, his teammate, so he ain't completely out of it.
Yeah, that all
Something
began.
to
I
a
believe the
miss
11
there.
car, it stacked them up. The 11 car was way up into almost the extreme high lane. He had not been there the entire night, and now he's going to see himself stuck in traffic. The 42. Oh, trouble! Right in front of the field, the 34 car dives down to pit road right there,
He
and
was
that
ghosted.
was on my screen. He was not ghosted, and that was a big. It took what little bit of my voice that I have way up an octave,
Yes.
and I cannot believe what that
Oh,
was.
I was
don't
holding my
know.
breath there too, but the fact that nobody hit him, that's why I think he might have been ghosted. He might have spun trying to get on pit road or something messed up, was trying to cut left, and him going so slow, it probably ghosted him with the lead pack coming up on him.
That is something you just don't want to see at all. Real life, fake life, any life. A car
Yes.
going from 0 or you're traveling at 200 miles an hour, no matter what you're doing, that's going to
you're
create
gonna
a significant
pucker up.
impact. Leader's going down pit road, 42 car by himself.
Ooh,
That's not good for Wicked
no,
Gatekeeper.
It's not.
He's got another car right behind him as well that might be able to help him out there.
That's a lot of respect on Mills. Again, Mills went into that pit lane earlier, was running by himself, saw the leaders coming up after him. After his pit lane, let those guys go by and trying to pull the draft behind him. Again, a lot of respect that we have here in Giggity Racing. He does not want to lose that draft now, knowing that he can eventually, hopefully, get that lap back with that next stage. But again, a lot of respect on our lap car of an unfortunate circumstance for Mills in an early race.
All right, so we've got RJ Smitty up front leading right now. We got MP Roofer sitting in second. We got K Taddy in third. I believe that is Go with the Flow sitting in fourth right now. Behind them, we got the other 2 Hendrick teammates of
24 car on pit
and-
road.
Yep.
24
By
By
himself. A
by
lot of
himself.
single car pit road stops here. That is
And
not
seeing
typical
how he
for a Talladega
had-
race.
No, it's not. He had both of his other Hendrick teammates in that group with him, in that pack with him. So why they wouldn't cut off and all 3 pit together baffles me.
Sorry, guys. My dog's getting excited at the action. He's watching, too, giving him a little bit of a howl. Just click back to our buddy back here, Robbie Vitz, in that 37 car, running solo. I think he made a pit stop by himself, thinking somebody's going to come with him, and they didn't go with him.
Not on the high side.
Here comes that high side line. As you mentioned there, Boomhauer, it looked like they're trying to use the one car as a pick. Things getting tight in formation. 48 car now to the outside. That stacks up the inside by the 21 car. Now people are on pit road and through all this. The 11 and 20 teammates right there. Look like they gather it up very nicely in what was a single file lane. Heading to turn 3. They did not exit that way out of 4.
11 being K-Taddy, 20 go with the flow. Sorry again, once again, my dog's getting all excited there. But yeah, those two Toyotas go to pit lane. Hopefully no penalty. Didn't look like that. They will be able to draft with each other when they come out, Alex and Boom. Fuel only, it looks like go for the flow. That was super, super quick. K-Taddy still sitting on pit lane. Maybe making adjustments, maybe getting right sides. But definitely fuel only for go with the flow.
All right, so we've got MP Roofer in the lead right now as Noko is barely clinging onto that lead lap. As
48 car on pit road, so is his teammate. No contact again, and the 48 misses pit road because of it. Last time it was the 48 getting into the side of the 9. This time it's going to be the 9 getting into the side of the 48. He's backing up.
Hopefully he does not get kicked.
Road.
Yeah,
that is 48. That is our buddy Sphincter out there.
He's going to get hit right there. Oh, he doesn't.
He makes it. He makes it without getting the. He gets it back. He backs it all up, but that is Sphincter. Holy cow! No offense to anybody out there, but this
would typically be very, very illegal in the real world. That would not fly at all. NASCAR would be calling Jimmy Johnson, Kevin Meter, and the whole crew for the end of that one here.
But you in the NASCAR hauler right now.
I say we give it to him because, unfortunately, that was not of his doing. That was the 9 car's fault, and with how cautions play out, that would have been disastrous for him to have to go around again by himself.
That is a big part of these super speedways, these restrictor plate tracks, is getting on and off pit road. It is so hard to get these cars dialed down from running 200 plus mile an hour down to 55 mile an hour without, a lot of times when you hit the brakes, they tend to lock up and slide right. So if you're side by side 3 or 4 at a time trying to hit pit road, it can get clusterous in there.
And that was the 48 of Sphincter, Alex. And with a name like Sphincter, man, he just made everybody's sphincters pucker up just a little bit. I still got to talk to him to get how to pronounce it, but that's how I've been pronouncing it until I can get to him, man. But that was... But let me tell you what, boys, that was some intense. I cannot believe he didn't get a penalty for backing up, like you said. That is definitely not not recommended.
Well, and what did we say before this rash of green flag pit stops? We questioned the 24 car going down pit road by himself. Well, he may have known something. He might have been like, I don't know. This 48 and the 9 car. You want your teammates out there with you on the racetrack, but getting on the pit road, seems like the 24 car did the right thing in going solo. His teammates have had trouble now twice in both stages, the 48 and the 9 making contact.
I'm looking at to take this stage win right now. I'm not sure if y'all have been keeping up with it or not, but MP Roofer has yet to pit. He is sitting in first place behind Noko. And all he is doing is in his draft, I guarantee you, he's not full throttle. So he's saving fuel, not to mention he's got that clutch of his he can use to also save fuel. With everybody taking splash and goes, he might not have to pit.
I was just going to bring that up. MP Roofer loves his new gas pedal setup, and he does brag that he can press that clutch in. He can save fuel. Let's see if that pulls out for him. Remember that 2 of Mills, he was a lap down earlier. Sticking with that lead draft right behind him is K-Taddy in that 11 car, guys.
All right, so I don't know exactly what a full fuel run is.
I believe Roofer's about to pit now because he's just backed way
He did,
out.
And the 11 car I don't believe has pitted
yet. Taddy did pit.
Oh, they did pit, exactly. I'm sorry.
They are passing the blue 37. That's our boy Robbie Vitz from over the pond going to lap down. Hopefully he can stick with that draft, though, because it is no fun when you're running many laps out here by yourself without a draft.
Something is amiss with Roofer. He is out of fuel, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, Roofer
yes, he is. Did he miss getting on the pit road for whatever reason? Caution, yellow flag is out, I believe, or this might be the end of the stage. You said that the 21 might be able to use it, so that might be why.
Yeah, the
everybody
2,
else
the
is still
1,
racing.
the 11, and the 37 still going fast. So yes, I believe Roofer might have just won that stage.
Wow, that's great. They were that close on fuel. And yes, now the speedway has fallen, Colgan by the tower to place it under yellow right here. And the 21 car did enough. Now, it's great to see. I wish we had a leaderboard. I believe he'll pit, and everybody might do a wave around. But how many cars he might have put a lap down there, because that's going to be the key here, and who's on the lead lap and who is not.
That's going to be very instrumental on how many cars are a lap down. I'm glad you brought that up, Alex. Yes. Roofer with a checker flag. Ryan Morgan, RKM, our buddy out there in YouTube land, says with the checker flag. So Roofer gets that on strategy. Great for him. He loves these tracks. And one time and 1 week, he put over 2,000 laps in just testing his custom setup on one track for one car. So Roofer, one of our dedicated guys out here, like everybody
Darlington, if I'm not mistaken.
Of all tracks, yeah. So, guys, I got to say, at one time, we're going to rack them and stack them. We're going green flag racing. This is the third stage.
3. All right, so we got Go to Flow sitting on the outside. We got Noco sitting in third. Made his way back up to the front after his misfortunes from earlier.
Roofer pulling them down the track. Yep, RJ Smitty right there with him. Everybody trying to maintain that line. Noco goes just below that line a little bit. Yep.
This is always a restart. It's always the most dicey time here at Talladega. You see the 20 car and 37 also making headway, trying to form that outside line. And now is the time where you want to get yourself in the position to get to the front. So you're going to see these guys take it 2 and 3 wide as we see the 00 to the outside, as well as the 37 car. Everyone now using the inside as well. The 1 and the 21 still tag team. 24 car has his teammates behind him.
I don't think they're going to do anything yet. I think Smitty and all them, I think they're playing for the end of the race.
And that's why you see such a sense of urgency, 1, to get in single file formation, and 2, to will yourself all the way up to the front, because we can see what it's like if that outside line doesn't get going. You're not starting back in 2nd or 3rd. You're starting back in 12th, 13th.
And it's hard because the closing rate of these tracks now, with the draft, the way you suck right up to somebody's bumper as fast as it happens, a lot of times you're not even running, barely running half throttle at these tracks in the draft. So whenever you do get to somebody's bumper in a hurry, somebody behind you gets to your bumper in a hurry, the checkup, and you've got to decide, hey, am I going to slow down or am I going to take the run and try to make something of it?
And keep in mind, this is all happening at 200 miles an hour. So not only do you have to make a split-second decision, the split-second decision is made at well over the driving speed limit set in your county or state. I mean, these guys, it's rush hour at 200 miles an hour. I cannot stress to anyone else why do we like Talladega so much. It's because this is racing. This is the fastest of the fast. These guys are making these split-second decisions, and it's breathtaking to watch. I love watching this type of racing.
Oh yeah, Daytona and Talladega both. It's like, last Thursday, in the Xfinity race at Daytona. I mean, I had literally had a small window on the end of that first stage to jump in front of Tommy Armour and Dark Knight.
Oh, got people on pit road.
Ooh, strategy.
This is early.
Yes, it is.
Real quick, for a lot of you guys who don't know, too.
Those people, unless those people took the wave around, because the 21 Roofer, we did know that some people were put a lap down. We don't know exactly how many. They may have taken the wave around right there, hoping for a caution. Did not pan out for them. So now they need not to see a caution. They need to let this thing run green. And that's a long way from a pit cycle here, at least another 15 laps.
Something you brought up earlier in the pre-race, Alex, that we haven't seen this quote-unquote that big one yet. Thank goodness we haven't seen it. We have yet to see it. We're going to stage racing only right now. It's still early in stage 3, but I would like to give a big shout-out again. Everybody knows in that Xfinity Series. Everybody Xfinity Series racing, they at the Super Speedway, they set not only the daily but the weekly fastest times the top 10 qualifiers did, all in one short qualifying stint. So
4 laps.
Whoa, trouble. 9 car almost got waved out of trouble right there to the outside wall. I don't know exactly what sent him wide. But now we see some shuffling up front.
As here comes Noco trying to take the lead. Sorry, Alex.
No drafting help. No. If things happen just that quickly, he does. Noco takes the lead.
Wow.
There's your popcorn. He said, "Pull it out, man. He's going to put on a show." It's still a
21
little
car
bit early,
forced.
but
contact
contact!
around. There goes the 48 car. Hard hit. Martin
The
Twins Jr.
19's around.
37 gets a piece of it as well. Yellow flag
As
for
the
an incident
caution
today.
is out.
Yes.
And that is what Wicked and them needed to see.
The
That is our
48
first
car.
caution flag, and that is
was
the
a
commentary
lot of
curse.
momentum. A lot of momentum there from the 48 car. Somebody decided to take it to the high line, and it did not pan out for the rest of the field. That's exactly what you're afraid of if you're in this lead pack. Thankfully, the caution did come out because that could have been big had the yellow decided not to have come out.
Oh, yeah, we know how
Got
those
Shadow
games
Grim out there in
sometimes-
YouTube world, man, paying attention. He says, "Let's go, RJ." Woo! So thank you, Shadow Grim, Ryan Morgan, Tom Horton. We got a lot of people commenting over here. We do appreciate you guys joining in, man. We got quite a few viewers tonight, so thank you guys for joining in tonight. It's awesome to have you guys be part of Giggity and participate in the chat when you're watching your fellow team owners or teammates. Let's rack them and stack them, Talladega style, boys.
Here we go again. We got that notorious black #1 car sitting in front now. Let's see if that's the last time he loses the lead. He was up here earlier. He's been dying to get it back. Now that he has, it's not going to be easy to take it away from him again.
Shadow wants to give a shout out to Boomhauer and Alex. Awesome to see him out there. Great to see it. They're still too wide, trying to get these cars stable.
that's
This is
outside
really
line,
hard
making
car.
contact.
48 and the 21 out of turn number 2 sends the 48 car below the yellow line. He does not advance his position, so no harm, no foul in NASCAR's eyes. But that all began when the 21 and the 48 made contact out of turn 2. Restarts here can be deadly to your determining
the
finish.
first 2 turns, pretty much at every track, and it's not just the super speedways, but these is more than the rest of them, because you've got your car set up for running 200 mile an hour. You don't have the handling set up for running 50, 60, 70 mile an hour on that initial restart going into these corners, so it's not up to speed the way it's going to turn more than you want it to at that point. So it makes for some crazy racing until you get that car up to speed.
This is not just a Giggity thing. I've seen this in many leagues and public lobbies. Holding a line is very, very hard. It's something that, as a online gamer, 24 car, looks like he knows to the outside.
RJ Smitty going to the outside. Don't
Here
forget
comes
about
the 9 and the 48.
that 37. Robbie Vid's pushing his good buddy
Hendrick
in
Motorsports
T-Motor.
decided to go to the outside there. But no one else went with them.
Ooh.
And it's starting to get a little stagnant on that
Here comes
outside.
the alarm guard.
Teddy.
He's going to try, but
Teddy's
nope, he goes
wanting
back
to.
to the inside.
He's wanting to. I know him. He's doing his best. He's trying to get somebody to go with him.
How many laps to go do we know, guys?
Anybody out there in YouTube
idea.
world, if you guys could jump in real quick and let us know to help the broadcast out. Alex, Boom, Arch, and I, we would love to know how many more laps to go. We are in stage 3. Noko pushing it. Robbie Vitz to the
the
inside.
Got a
Looks
car
like
below the yellow
under the
line.
yellow.
That is no here in
And
this
here
pack.
comes the 20 and the 11 of Underdog. Are they going to make it work? Here comes
Yep, that's
Smitty
Daddy and
pushing
Flo.
him in the Ooh, I don't think it's going to work. It
Now
looks
we're
like it's
evened
stalled
up. We're
out.
teamed up. 37 car. Going to lose the draft because of that. He was running in
Yes.
second.
You hate
Yeah, a
to
lot
see
of
it,
respect
Robbie.
to him, though. He did not jump back up in there.
Yes, he
we
held
all
it
know
down.
how. Yeah, Robbie is super respectful. He's trying to push his team owner and satellite team co-captain next year, Noko. But he's going to lose the draft to that guy because of that. But yeah, he went below the yellow. He did not come up again. A lot of racers
Contact.
respect here in Giggity Racing.
Between the 24 and the 21 right there.
Looks like Roofer's going to get hung up to ground that high line as he finally makes his way back in. And here comes the 24 and the 9 car and the 48. All 3 of them. No, that's Mills, not the 9.
RJ
Yeah, you got
Smitty,
teammates
Chuck
up
Taylor.
front. So you know they're going to work with one another.
Oh, absolutely.
0 car. That could be the person that breaks the chain. You see the 2 car. He wants to go, but no drafting
all
help.
3.
Maybe not a lot of trust in that 2 car there.
We'll say all 3 of them, the 1, the 42, and the 00, they're teammates right now, so they're sitting 1, 2, 3. They're right where they want to be.
It's going to take somebody. When you have a pack like this, it's got to take somebody that you know can get you to the front.
Yes.
And so I believe one thing about these people that are laying back or that we haven't seen, such as the 2 car or I believe who else is back there.
Oh, Teddy gets shuffled down below the apron as he makes his way back up on the track.
And damage is on. So you have to wonder, was there a little bit of nose to tail damage that could be more damage and an issue getting on the pit road?
Teddy is doing all he can to get that outside line to work, but he just cannot get anybody to go with him right now. Teddy, if you watch this later, believe me, brother, I'd go with you if I was out there racing with you right now. I love running that high line, jumping out there, trying to make them runs happen. I can't stand following in line. So if I could help you, I would.
HWH, high wide to hands.
One car!
Gets
his teammate trying to save him. It bottlenecks the field, and the 00 car cut the 42 car a big break, and making sure that was not a bigger issue. Now, the 1 car, he had an issue getting into turn 2, and I wish we had the benefit of a replay, but let me explain it to you. The 1 car had an issue getting out of turn number 2 that checked up the 42 car, who tried to allow his teammate to get back in front of him. That lost the momentum, then created the 00 car, nowhere to go, and that is usually where you see a wreck. Now, the 00 car went to the inside, and everyone else was able to read that and allow the line to be realigned, but the 00 car, Buck Racing, that was a great job and a great example of anticipate the unexpected at Talladega.
And great job by everybody else behind them seeing that, able to check up and not cause an accident from all the checking up in the bottleneck as well. The reaction time has got to be spot on these tracks.
I think we still see everybody in the full field except for our buddy Robbie Fitz with that unfortunate circumstance. He pull back up, and I think we still see the full field in a full field draft, which is so awesome to see, guys.
Now, we see Buck Racing there cut the 42 car break, but now you're going to start seeing contact, and the 11 car gets into the wall off of the 30.
Yeah,
K-Taddy was an issue through the trial. K-Taddy below the yellow line, gathers it back up. The field scatters, and we are once again single file. Wow.
This is getting my heart going.
I know, right? Isn't this so intense? Points racing, guys on the line. K-Taddy, Mills definitely have to get as many points as they can between tonight and Iowa. We are going to give 2 people the unfortunate, sorry you can't be here notice for the points championship. They are working their rear ends off. Doko pulling wicked coming down through the straightaway right here, guys.
Now, one thing I'm seeing is that the 1 car, he's been able to keep the lead there, but he's opening up that bottom line. And right now, that's something you don't want to do as a leader.
Teddy again. He's got to flow on his bumpers. They're not going to quit. He is going to do everything he can to get that high line working. He knows it will. It's just a matter of getting somebody to follow.
Now, I just mentioned the breakaway point is usually the person that's where you're going to see momentum, as we see the 11 and the 20 get side by side with the 2 and the 00.
Here comes Smitty. So we got 4 cars in the high line, but Smitty catch the wall, so that's going to slow him down, so he's not going to be any good on that.
1 car really high again, forcing his teammate below the yellow line. Wow. That then takes up the rest of the field, and I'm telling you there, you can get away with that. Tight. But the chances of that turning into a wreck increase every lap.
Yes, especially as we wind down, getting closer to closer, knowing that might be your only opportunity to take the lead, whether your teammates or not. Now, if you are wicked, do you jump on the opportunity, or do you keep playing nice, letting your teammate and your captain back in front of you?
Wicked also is in the points.
You're asking Wicked, but the person you might be asking is that 2 car, the 00, the 21 car. They're the ones that are going to decide exactly what's going to happen to the 42 car if the 1 car can't get off the corner as well, because that's going to affect the 42 car. So it depends on if the 2 car can take advantage of a mistake made by the 1 that's going to, unfortunately, hang out his teammate perhaps to dry.
42 wicked. He's sitting 3rd in points. Buck sitting decently comfortable. Race tonight's not over, but Mills in that 2 car, K-Taddy in that 11. Those are the guys that are trying to fight for the points. They are on the bump, guys. So once again, we have seen K-Taddy go to that high side, make that high side great again, high, wide, and handsome, HWH, however you want to see it. Just can't get any assistance up there as they start snail trailing in a long drive here. Love seeing these guys in a long draft like this.
And, this is a problem both in the real world and it is in the gaming world, is that communication factor. I know these guys are in chats, but unique to online gaming. You might be in the same party chat as the enemy, the person you're trying to get to the front. So how much do you want to say on PS4 chat, which these guys are in right now, talking with one another? Do you say, hey, let's move to the high side? Do you tell your competition, the 42 and the 1 car, that, hey, this is our attack plan, let's see how they react to it? Or are you guys silent right now? Is everyone trying to work with one another? We see more shuffling in the back of the pack.
Looks like the 48. Looks like them Hendrick cars are trying to get lined up on the outside. As K. Teddy jumps in front of them as they jump back down. See, and here
contact!
they come pitting.
Some people are pitting. Yellow flag. Not going to be out, but we see the 21 car of MP Roofer. I don't think he got it slowed down in time, y'all. I believe that's a speeding penalty for the 21.
Yeah, he loves a super speedway too, Alex, and he's so strong here, racing for DSR. It's unfortunate for him. Hopefully, he can come back from that.
As we see K. Teddy back in the lead for now.
K. Teddy always looking strong. We talked about his custom car. He showed how dominant was he earlier. Car spun around, AI accident, not deliberate. The 21 roofers we were talking about and get spun around. Noko coming out by himself on pit lane. No help. Not good. You gotta have assistance here. Unlike the next track we're going to, Iowa. But here, gotta have help. Gotta have friends.
Yep, the 21 car with that and his penalty there. He's gonna go a lap down. The lead pack now dwindling down to just 5 cars. That second pack, and I want hopefully somebody, one of you guys can keep an eye on that, the people that just pitted, because that's going to be determining who perhaps might get the lead at the end of this pit stop exchange.
Well, I got to say, with K. Teddy, Go With The Flow, Smitty, Spinker, and Checkmate all still running, 5 in a row, they've got carrying a little bit more speed than Noko and Buckcar right now. So as long as they stay together, if the 5 of these guys pit together, it will be big problems for the rest of the field.
Guys, I made a little bit of a broadcasting mistake. I apologize. Roofer is still a Canuck this year. He will be with DSR next year. But yes, I apologize to you, RKM, and all the Canucks crew. RKM, Roofer is still a Canuck this year, but he does love super speedways. He is so good at so many tracks. We've seen him on dirt. We've seen him on short tracks. We've seen him on mile and a half. All series, Roofer is one to be contended with. That was an unfortunate mistake for him.
Oh, some shuffling up front. 20 car got pushed to the outside there. 24 car, RJ Smitty trying to take advantage with his teammates. Joe Gibbs versus Hendrick Motorsports right now. They sandwich themselves between both Toyota Camrys as we see the 24 car take a look. Interesting up front, we see the 1 and the 00 car racing one another. And that's definitely going to slow themselves down to the pace of the 11 and the 24.
Going down the front stretch right there, I believe they were changing spots so Buck could actually push as Teddy drops below the yellow line.
I believe right now, both the 00 and the 1 car, and you're right, a little bit of damage there on the 1. And they're going to go a lap down.
Changing spots.
They'll be able to stabilize in this lead pack as we see the 00 car get back on track. I think he just got loose. He had already pitted. He did not need to go down pit road again.
Yeah, I think he just got loose in a little bit of a shuffling right there. That's all it was. As we got Kate
the 11, the 9, and the 20 are all on pit road.
Therefore, again, we see teammates pitting at a sink. Very, very unusual, to see, especially here at super speedways where teammates mean more than anything.
All right, guys. The 24 and the 48 car. We've documented the 48 struggles in getting on the pit road, whether it be of his fault or of someone else. He's with his teammates here, and they're going to go down pit road right now. You see the 48 car. Looks like it will be a clean, third time's the charm, entrance to pit road right there. The 48 and the 24 car on pit road.
And the Noko Racing crew of Wicked Gatekeeper, Noko, and Buck Racing will have the lead as they pass K. Teddy, Checkmate Taylor, and Go With The Flow. So right now they're running 3 versus 3. but that's a long gap between the two of them as we see Noko and them entering turn 3 right now as Taddy and them are still running down the backstretch, so that's a lot of time to make up.
Now, are we sure that they are the leader?
Yes, they pitted first. Whenever Taddy, Taylor, and Flo pitted again, they were in front of them still. They came out. Taddy and them came out of the pits. They are still in front of Taddy and them, so therefore they passed them as they were coming out of the pit road. So those 3 would be your leaders.
All right, so that's some interesting strategy. You see the 24 car. He's not going to be able to be tandem with the 48. It might have been differing pit stops right there.
That was the only chance they had. Those 5 cars that stayed out when the other 3 pitted, that was going to be the biggest chance for them 5 to stay together and run those other ones down. But now that they're separated like that, it's going to be very, very difficult for those 3 of Taddy, Flo, and Checkmate to catch the Noko Racing crew.
And interesting enough, before they were even on to pit road, they were running a little bit of laps with that lead pack, and we were thinking that perhaps strategy would make that their downfall. It turns out they pitted so early that even the time they made up before Buck and Noko decided to go down pit road wasn't even enough to keep them ahead. So this is a very good strategy call by the 1 and the 00. It's the 42 with
yes,
them.
He is.
Okay, so all 3 of those guys are using some great strategy to stay in touch with the lead pack and become the lead pack, essentially.
But
I don't know how many laps to go here, but I imagine we're
either.
starting to get to the end. 00 car.
That's Buck. Yep. And remember, guys, too, Noko was on one heck of a run. He had, he was going to make it to drive for 7. The 7th heavens type of win last week in the slider setup, not panning out for him so well. Has a little chip on his shoulder, redemption on him, and say, hey, I'm going to put this black number 1 back up front, man. I'm notorious.
When y'all let me know when they get to that first American flag in turn 3?
They are there now.
All right, so Taddy and the rest, the other 2 guys, they're about 5 to 5.5 seconds back right now. That's a lot of time to make up on a restrictor plate.
It is a lot of time seeing RKM, Buck, Noko, Buck, and Wicked up here. I've been talking back and forth with RKM on the chat. I apologize. These guys in that 3-car draft. Who's going to make a move at the right time? Right now, just keep your nose clean. We've only seen 1 caution throughout all these stages, which is completely awesome. Guys, these guys are pushing super, super hard. They are taking their time and proving why they put hours and hours and hours into these custom setups.
Wow, looked like the 42 car decided to lag, right? But unfortunately, guys, I think I must go. I don't know.
Hey, Alex, we understand you.
Do what you've got to do, man.
I've got to start eating stuff, so I feel so bad. I want.
No. You explained earlier that you might have to leave a little bit earlier. It was an honor to be in the booth with you. Everybody in Giggity appreciates you being up here. Thanks for being here. Please join in on the channel. See how this ends, because I know you're just as curious as everybody else is.
The 4th, 5th, and 6th place cars are catching Noko Racing Crew up here. So it's starting to get interesting. Is there enough time left? Is there enough laps for them to do it, though?
Once again, Alex, appreciate it, man. Go put some food in your belly. Enjoy your night, man.
Brother.
I will be tuning in here on the website to see guys. But
all right,
I will catch you guys later. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Once again, everybody, the world-famous Alex Ned. We've all heard him numerous times. He's one of the greatest commentators in NASCAR esports, man. Great to have him up here in the booth with us. Boomhauer, Archangel on the broadcast, Puddin' still got this. We're going to take you to the end, but, man, that was so cool to have Alex up here, guys. So thanks again. Watching Noko still leading the Wicked and Buck. These guys, have had a good, fierce battle at the Roval. Noko wants to get back on a winning streak, show what he can do, leading the points. Clicking back, though, Wicked is comfortably sitting right there. It's Mills and Taddy on that bubble tonight, Boom.
Like I said, man, these three cars running fourth, fifth, and sixth of K Taddy, Checkmate Taylor, and Go with the Flow. It looks like they're creeping ever so closer to Noco's crew up here. Like I said, I'm not sure how many laps are there to go, but honestly, I hope there's enough for them to catch them and try to make something out of this. Because if so, it would make for one hellacious finish, and I want to see it. I want to see it.
Without a doubt.
Now, I'm not just saying that because I drive for K-Taddy in the Xfinity Series. I just want to see these guys get up here and make something of it. I mean, because it's Talladega. If you're not side by side at the finish line in the photo finish, then it means a lot. It makes it much more interesting when stuff like that happens.
Our one and only Archangel Cloud out there wants to say thank you to Alex for coming up here. A couple more boo-boos like that. Tad will be right back on there. Ryan Morgan RKM says, and thanks for joining in, Tom Horton. We know him as Dirty Dog. Not feeling so well, under the weather, but still managed to pull that computer out and watch the broadcast. So great to have you on board. Can't wait to race with you, Daughter to Glory and Dirt Dog. And Talladega 04. A new guy I haven't seen. I'm still trying to get acclimated to everybody's names, but Talladega says hopefully a Chevy wins. To let you know, I am a Chevy guy. I do have that bow tie tattooed on me, but it's not just about that time. It's about who wants it more, who's going to win. That's who's going to get that black and white.
We've got 4 Chevys in the top 6, along with 2 Toyotas, as it looks like Buck is going down pit road. So now it is
with
2
no drafting help coming off.
Yes, so now it's 2 versus 3 as we see them catching lap traffic. I believe that might be our friend from across the pond, Robbie Vids, up there.
Real quick, Ryan Morgan, RKM, just to let you know that the problem with that is they circled it and highlighted it in blue. That's the problem with the blue oval. That's the problem with it. They let you know right off the bat when you buy it. So
you can sit there. You can.
All right, Boomhauer. We can talk a little bit later because I already know what you're going to say.
Blah blah blah. But refresh my memory of what's the number 1 selling truck for the last 44 or 45 straight years now.
Chevrolet, without a doubt.
No.
And who brings up?
You need to check your facts.
In every song out there, there's more songs sung about them driving their Chevy because it's so dependable. Chevy, like a rock. They should pay me for saying that real quick. Gotta love your bow ties. Everybody, the manufacturer fan, Boomhauer, we're all friends. We all have our own picks and chooses, man.
Our Teddy,
and look at them come.
And Flo, they have caught this 2-car pack. Now, what are they going to do? I think we already all know what they're going to do.
Oh, there it is.
Oh,
there it goes.
Robbie cuts out. Here they go. Oh, 3 wide. They make contact.
Robbie did the respectful move, but no, that does not slow him down. That 3 wide's going to push that 2 wide right there, and that's why they put bow ties on Chevy so girls will buy them. Gentlemen wear bow ties. Little girls ride ponies. Just to let you know, Ryan Morgan. But we have to get back to this intense action, man.
It looked like Teddy was going to drop down in front of Noco, but he thought better. He stayed up top so he could. Oh, as he cuts off Checkmate Taylor, he's running. Oh, this is getting interesting. What's he going to do? Is he going to go back high again and pull that outside line to keep Noco from behind him? Or I don't know.
Talladega 04, he said this is KH4 Busher. We got Bush Beer. We got to race with him a little bit earlier, Boomhauer.
Yes,
thanks for joining in, man. Yeah, thanks.
Absolutely.
That's awesome for you joining in, man. If you want to come to test your talents, man, let us know.
It looks like Flo and Checkmate got together a little bit. It's going to shuffle Checkmate to the back.
Oh, Woodruff Racing says that we never seen a woman that couldn't resist a bow tie. That is darn true, darn true. Like I said, gentlemen wear bow ties. Little girls ride ponies. Guys, we are 3 wide, 2 wide. We are going single file below the yellow line.
Get below the apron.
Yes, that's go with the flow and wicked. We're jumping back on board. K Taddy had something to prove tonight.
Noco comes. Contact.
Holy cow! Noco and K Taddy might have words after this one.
Again. They're about to be 3 wide. What is going to happen? I'm almost standing up right now.
I do not want to be in Noco's voice right now.
Oh, no.
Him and K Taddy are good friends, but man, K Taddy has to make points up. He knows that. He's got to do what he can. Noco already comfortably leading these points in the playoffs, but at the same time, he wants to start a new win streak. K Taddy making that high wide side again. goes around him, pulls him down inside, now he's back on the inside. Noco
That
by
was
himself.
That was it. K-Taddy wins at Daytona, Talladega. Sorry about that.
Holy cow.
Wow.
Oh my goodness! I need to hit an inhaler if I have one. If anybody's got a Xanax, send it my way. Because good Lord, my heart rate is through the roof. Boomhauer, Art, I know you can hear us. Thank you for your broadcasting. Again, don't forget about our man, Archangel Cloud out there. He had a little bit of microphone issue, but my goodness.
I gotta give a shout out. I gotta give a shout out to RKM, Ryan Morgan. He worded it just perfectly. He said, "Doo-doo gonna hit the fan blades." That was amazing.
That is the most politically correct, polite way we could have put that, especially here in Giggity, since we are so public. That was awesome, the way you said that, Ryan Morgan. Way to go,
you got to rephrase it just a little bit. You got to say the fit is going to hit the shan.
Either way, we just saw one heck of a race. Time work, we saw teamwork, we saw strategy, we had Alex Ned in the booth, we had custom cars, Giggity style, at Talladega, we have a points bubble guy winning the race with much needed, knocking the points leader out. Again, do not want to be in that message board right now, but guys, I'm going to say it, find me if you want to, I'll pay the fine. That was one hell of a race.
That was freaking awesome, baby.
Holy cow. And we still got one more to go, and it's Iowa.
Now it's going to short track. So do you see these guys taking their little bit of anger out, maybe?
Will helmets get thrown? Will bumpers get touched? Boom! My goodness.
I think there's going to be a few bumpers touching. We might see some gloves, some steering wheels get thrown. We'll have to see.
RJ Smitty with the fastest lap of that race at a 45.8. Obviously drafting the fact, but a 45.8. Holy cow. Congratulations to RJ with that. Everybody's starting to back out real quick. We will bring our leaders up to the podium, get their voices heard after this next race. We still have one more. We're going short track racing. Boom! I can't wait to have you there, Arch. I know you can hear us, buddy. Money Mike, if you're listening, buddy, if you want to come up, I know he wanted to be in the booth, but he said I'm backing out to hear Alex Ned. So Money Mike, if you want to come up, Boomhauer, Arch, Iowa. Holy cow! We just got done with one hell of a race at Dega.
Yes, we did. We had an awesome race. It was a clean race. We only had one caution aside from the stages. We had a little bit of beating and banging right there on the last lap. But once again, it is the last lap. You're fighting for every position. You want that trophy. You want every point you can get going through these playoffs. So well done by everybody, especially the way that they were beating and banging and able to keep it straight, able to keep it going, not causing a caution.
Again, Arch Angle, Arch, our broadcaster right now, not being able to have a voice, just typed in. He said, "I freaked out. That's a great freaking finish." Heck yeah! Tom Horton says, "Woo!" He pulled he pulled the Ric Flair out on that. Boomhauer, take us off because I gotta calm down. Holy cow!
Yeah, I do too. But we're gonna go ahead and cut this one out. I hope y'all enjoyed this as much as we did, by God, because that was some freaking awesome racing amongst the best of the best. We don't call it the Elite Cup Series for nothing, ladies and gentlemen, and you just found out why. But we're going to take a couple minutes. We're going to take a break so we can get ready for some short track racing at Iowa Motor Speedway in the Cup Custom Series. So we're going to go ahead and cut this broadcast. We're going to regroup, get everything wound up, and get ready to go again. So I thank y'all for joining us. Once again, I want to thank Puddin', Arch, big shout out to Alex for joining us as long as he could. And I'm going to end it with a simple catch you later and bye!
Bye! That's right,